All right. So when we're talking to PSO customers and we reach out and we make contact with them, we start to create the learning path. So I think it's right. I'm gonna. It's in between here. So we're creating a learning path, but we may find that the classes that they want to take occur after the credit's expiration date. So before we can complete enrollment, we have to come up with a plan to utilize the entire balance of credits and then submit a request to have the expiration date pushed out. That makes sense?
That makes sense. Yep.
So I just did one. You come up with the plan, then you fill out this document to the account coordinator for the credits. You include their account ID, and you fill this form out. It says, all this information. You include registration IDs or on-site IDs that are pending payment. All the information, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You take that.
Can you scroll up? I'm sorry, can you go back to that?
Yeah.
Can you scroll up to the upper half of that? I don't think I got a chance to see it.
Sure.
Okay, good, got it. And it's just that one page?
Yeah, just a one page.
Okay.
You send this to the account coordinator, so we'd send it to Joe in an email with this being copied in the email, having him send back his agreement. So he just sends back, I agree. And once we have that, I have here somewhere. So let me just.
Is there ever any instances where he doesn't agree?
They always agree because we can't move forward and getting their credits extended, and their credits would expire.
Okay, so this is really just a form of documentation for you guys to show that we actually pushed it. It's really not. It's really not requesting. It's really just a documentation trail.
It is, but we have to have them agree because I think in here it says it's like a one-time, extension. Yeah, one-time extension for this account expiration. You need to accommodate the courses below. Just some stuff so that the customer's locked in.
Okay, so there is a potential that, well, not that this is approved, but that, well, it's not a potential. It's just it's a what if. This can be done once, and if for any reason it needs to be done again, it's just not an option anymore.
Right. It's definitely a lot of times if it's going to be a customer sat issue, VMware will allow another one. But yeah, it's just documentation, so we can go back to the customer and say, hey, we've already done this. You agreed to be one time. But honestly, they'll do anything to avoid a customer sat issue, so they'd likely approve one. Okay. But it gives a little bit of leverage. So.
And do these always come in? Are they always processed by the sales manager to the account coordinator, or who does it start with if we need to do this?
If we're doing it on our end, it's an ESR on our team and the account coordinator for their team.
And help me make this distinction, because I think you guys use these terms interchangeably, and I think I'm getting myself confused. In my head, ISR is ESG's resource for inside sales rep, and an ESE is outside of ESG. It's on the account side. It is your counterpart. I think so. Is that true? Those two pieces?
That is true. Now I have a habit of calling my ISRs ESRs. So that's creating the confusion.
No worries, man. I just wanted to make sure I was syncing up with the right. So ISRs in your vernacular can sometimes be substituted with ESRs.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, got it. I just didn't know if I needed another swim lane.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, got it. All right, I derailed you. Go ahead. So you were saying, my question was, does this always originate with sales manager to account coordinator? And I think you were saying no, it could be, and I cut you off.
Yeah, no, it's more of the ISR and the account coordinator who's part of the end user, right? A company ABC.
Yep, got it. Okay.
So we send that off, and in this case, the one I'm showing you, the
Sorry, James, I have to interrupt you one more time. I think initially when you started that conversation, you said if it starts with the ISR, so it leads me to believe it could start with somebody else. Is it only with our ISR, or can it start with somebody else?
anybody working with a customer at VMware can do this, but we own pretty much all the credits. We're usually the people in contact.
Okay, so it could be that there's a predecessor to the ISR submitting this. It could be that an ESE on the account team
Yes.
says, hey, I need you guys to extend the credits, in
Yeah,
which case it kicks off this.
In this example, it is an ESE.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But yeah, and these aren't that common anymore. We just come across them periodically. We used to do them all the time.
Well, that's because you guys have the newly available offering, right? We could do it at your own pace versus have to actually physically go on site and do it, kind of thing.
Right.
And what were those three? That you had 3 delivery paths. It was, I wrote them down. I just, for the sake of the video, if you could repeat them again.
Yeah. So we have immediate consumption available for on-demand, and basically subscription services of on-demand, and then there's a whole category of what we call OSS, which could be e-learning or labs. It's basically almost like a self-paced option.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
So we send that off, and the customer replies, I approve, I agree, or whatever. Then we would need to go over to VMware's Salesforce. We'll log in real quick into here. Okay. And we go through some steps to create a case. I'm hitting report an issue. I'm going to send it to education operations.
Well, you had a drop down there. Is it always to education operations, or is it different folks?
There's a whole bunch of options.
Okay, so can you help me understand, well, will it be relevant to the process to understand what the various options and the criteria that you go through to select whatever one of these is?
No, we don't. I think we only use the education operations.
Okay, so for VMware, if I'm going to process an extension, when I get to this screen, even though there are several options, I'm only going to education operations to process an extension.
Yes.
Okay.
So on the next screen, you've got to fill some things out. That's me. I rarely will do a different priority. I'll probably leave it at medium. The turnaround's usually a day or so. This is, so again, a drop down with a million different things. We have this process sort of documented in Dropbox for our reps to reference, but so you pick PSO. I haven't done this in a while. Hang on. Oh, credit extension request. It's going to be for education. And you got to fill out the subject, company, ABC. And you put the account number. Request.
Hey, hold on one second, James. There's some latency. Hold on one second. It's going to have to catch up. Hey, James, you're breaking up, man, if you can hear me.
Number.